I'll bring in Wisconsin Congressman Derek Van Orden now. He joins us. Thank you, sir, for coming on. Good to see you again. Same subject line. Axios revealing an internal State Department memo is accusing Biden of spreading misinformation about the Israel-Hamas war by stating that he doesn't believe the death count coming from Hamas and that he is complicit in a genocide happening in Gaza. This is 100 people that are inside the State Department. 100 people inside the State Department. How did these kinds of people get into our State Department, and how dangerous is that?
Well, how they get in there is through a hiring process, unfortunately. And how dangerous is it? It's tremendously dangerous. Yeah. We have to understand that every single thing, every man, woman, and child that is tragically being killed in Gaza right now, every building, every piece of infrastructure that's being destroyed is a direct result of the Hamas invasion of Israel on October 7th, period. So there was a ceasefire on October 6th. There was essentially a two-state solution on October 6th. And that all stopped when these savages, these beasts, assaulted Israel on October 7th. And I know how vicious this was because I went there and I went to these kibbutzim. I went to the slaughter of the innocents at the Peace Festival. And we have to understand this, and I can't overstate this. Those are intentional acts by Hamas. They targeted civilians specifically to massacre them.
You know, the Washington Free Beacon is reporting that the administration is considering approving a sanctions waiver tomorrow that would allow Iran to access at least $10 billion in previously frozen funds that have been held in Iraq. How on earth is this even up for consideration at this point, assuming that this reporting is true? It's terrifying to think what the incompetence of this administration.
Well, it's not surprising, unfortunately. And I really want the American people to stop and ask the question, why? Why would we be funding Iran? One of my very good friends, his name is Kevin Hermaning. He lives in Wausau, Wisconsin. He was the youngest Marine hostage held by the Iranians for 444 days in 1979. And we've never made peace with Iran. They're responsible for the bombing of the Marine Corps barracks. They're responsible for the deaths of hundreds, if not thousands, of American service members around the world. They're responsible for funding Hamas and Hezbollah to commit these horrible terrorist attacks. So no, it's completely irresponsible for the Biden administration to be funding terrorism. It's really hard for me to explain to a dairy farmer that lives in southwestern Wisconsin why his tax dollars are funding rockets that are killing Jews in Israel. It's really hard. So the Biden administration has to stop. Yeah. This is what the messages they need to portray to the world. If you're responsible for killing an American citizen, you're a dead man walking. Yeah. If you know where an American is being held and you don't tell us immediately, you're going to be added to that list rapidly. And that's the only story that the Biden administration has to be telling.
And let's just be honest, that we're talking about these people in the State Department, these people in the administration. There are factions, there are very anti-West, anti-American factions that are operating all over the bureaucratic state and in politics right now in this country, and they have clearly infiltrated the Biden administration because the decisions that they are making are so antithetical to everything that we believe. I mean, they're like suicidal for the West to make decisions like this, to just throw another $10 billion at Iran when we know Iran is the one bombing our troops right now. Iran's the one funding the massacre on the Israeli people, and we're going to open up money. If that comes to fruition tomorrow, God help us. Congressman, thank you so much. We appreciate it.